And we did ask the AB Group, the Aditya Birla Group management, the right questions about the apprehension of the Grasim shareholders, something that even Varinder was talking about. And this is what they had to say.
A lot of pressure. The shareholders are worried about the overall restructuring. Of course, you have explained that how financial services business will also be part of Grasim. What's the rationale behind turning this company into a large holding company of three big businesses, which is telecom, financial services, and cement was already there? And how will you also pacify the shareholders of Grasim when they ask you about telecom business? Because if they don't want any exposure to telecom as a business, which is going to be part of this restructuring, sir?
So just to pick up 2 points from that. Firstly, I think the stock has taken a beating because I don't think what was reported was the structure that we've actually announced. So the structures that were reported, as you would know, were all basis speculation. And I think the reaction has been, the reaction has been to what was reported in the press. Telecom, clearly it's one of the operating companies where this Nuvo will have a fairly substantial stake. Having said that, it's a large company, it's raised very large finances in the last 10 years without any funding from the promoter. So to assume that this is being done to fund Idea, I think is a bit preposterous. Can I just finish? Yeah.
Mr. Birla.
And so I think Idea will have its own funding plan, as will, AVFSG. And to assume that this is being done, like I said, to fuel Idea is, I think, you're jumping the gun. That's not the intent as of now. Like I said, Grasim shareholders get exposure to new businesses, which are fast growing and linked in with the growth of the economy. So
right.
You were saying?
Mr. Birla, you had the
in terms of, just a second, just to clarify, could you help us understand and take us through the exact debt contours of the merged entity? What will be the total debt that the merged entity will have?
Yeah, I'm going to pass this on. I'll pass this on to Sushili.
Sure. And Mr. Agarwal, if you could also clarify, there's been a lot of analysis, a lot of speculation on what happens to the debt that Idea has and what is the exposure. I understand and I completely get Mr. Birla's point, but if you could clarify that, will you be taking on any portion of that debt? Will there be any exposure?
So currently, and I'll kind of tell you as of June, which we just announced the result today for both Grasim and Nuvo. Grasim in any case is a surplus company on a net basis. They have around 460 crores surplus cash on net basis, and Nuvo has around 2,000 crores kind of debt. On a combined basis, as we saw that, and Mr. Birla did explain that net debt to EBITDA would be around 0.5 or 0.6. So that's the level of leverage which we have. So I think on a combined basis there is no leverage at all, and balance sheet is very, very strong.
Okay, but in terms of, would there be any portion of exposure that fall into the cash flow?
So that's what I was trying to explain. That there is no exposure to the debt of Idea that this Nuvo will have. So I think that apprehension is completely ill-placed. Idea as a separate operating company will have its own financial plans.